Hey, everybody, I'm Chuck Carter, the lead pastor at Family Church here in Central Florida. And thank you for joining us for the Family Church podcast. This is podcast number five.
There we go.
And we're excited. This podcast is for everybody who loves the church and wants to see the church thrive. Whether you're a pastor, a staff member, or just a member of a church, we want to talk about lessons that we've learned and are learning on growing and seeing a church healthy and thriving. And as always, I'm joined with...
I'm Felipe Menges, online pastor here at Family Church, but also co-host with Pastor Chuck.
Yeah, and today you're not going to be a co-host. Today I'm going to interview you as online pastor, and we're going to talk about things like why every church today should consider an online ministry.
That's right.
What does it take to get one up and going? Mm-hmm. And then what things should you do online? And so it's going to be basically all things online today. Beautiful. As I interview you today. You know, we have covered several topics already. Like I said, this is our fifth podcast. We've talked about why we're a church of small groups. We've talked about why a multicultural church just is full of life and adds so much to the vibrancy of a church. But today we're going to be in your area of expertise.
That's right.
I'm kind of an alien in this area. I know how to turn it on. I don't know many things about it. But let's talk about why every church today should really think the strategy of their online ministry. Why don't you, first of all, just kind of share what we do and what are the opportunities and where are we going in this?
Beautiful. So we start investing in online ministry starting from the broadcast side. Right a little before the pandemic hits, like February, March 2020.
And we were pretty bad when we first started.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
We were pretty bad. Like, we didn't have the proper cameras. We didn't have the
Right.
proper gear. Even the connection or, like, internet connection at the building was not right to do this. So we have to go through an extensive checklist to see what we're supposed to do, when this will be available. We did an extensive research on what kind of equipment, lens, camera, everything, cutting board for this, proper audio, because this is something that we also, we're still figuring this out, like how to make the worship sounds great, how to make the pastor sound great. This is all part of the challenge.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that you can't just take the mix in the room and send it online. It's going to sound terrible, right? Especially with music.
Especially with
music. It won't be as bad with the speaking, the pastor, but with music. So we have a second person who mixes what goes through the in-house to present it online.
That is correct. Today we have a separate mix. So we have a mix for the house, as you said, and we have a mix for the broadcast. And to learn how to do this, our team, amazing team, has dedicated a bunch of hours just doing research. What the right thing we should invest, because of course this is part of a stewardship. We want to make sure that we are investing right using church resources.
Absolutely.
And what the main reason for this is, like, how can we reach our church in the middle of the pandemic? We didn't know the pandemic was about to happen. Our initial idea was just how to reach more people.
Well, yeah, I think when we started, it was like, okay, we know that we're going to have people on vacation. They can watch the service while they're gone. We know that people will be sick. They could watch shut-ins that we have. But it was also kind of to let people see what the church was like on the inside before they came, right?
That's right.
Pandemic comes and everybody goes online.
Everything changes.
And we had a very quick learning curve that we had to do there. And your team, Craig, the whole team did an incredible job to get us out there. And so we started, like you mentioned, just streaming our services. That was kind of the extent of our online. By the way, we did services 5 nights a week, some kind of service right away, right?
Exactly. It was pretty much like a news channel.
Yeah.
When we were in the pandemic mode, we spend the whole day at church. We film all day long. We make sure things are ready to go live. And one day we struggled really bad. We crashed one Sunday because we're not prepared for the shift.
So we started every night, 7 o'clock,
Yep.
tune in, Family Church. You're going to get the devotion, worship, whatever.
Because everybody was freaking out about the pandemic, like, is this virus going to kill me or not? What's going to happen with my
And
family,
we
with
wanted
my
to bring
job?
peace and to remind them God's in control. He's,
Yeah.
And then we were doing our service on Sunday, and during the pandemic, we would pre-record that,
Yeah.
and then we started doing it live. But I think one of the interesting things that you've done here at Family Church is we have 13 weekend services.
We do.
And how many of those can you watch online?
All of them.
You can watch them online.
You can watch all of them online, even the small campuses that we have. You can watch them online. They also are being archived right after the service is done. It is available to watch on demand if you miss it for an hour or two, or if you just want to watch it on the next day, it's available for you.
Yeah, I don't know another church that's doing that. So
Yeah, there's
if
a few
I
churches,
attend the Oakland campus and I'm on vacation, I can watch Oakland campus,
Yeah.
not just Family Church,
No.
but Family Church Oakland.
That's correct.
And really feel connected to my family, and
Yeah.
that's amazing.
That's really part of trying to reach my community, but also reach the people that surrounds my family, people that
That's
is
right.
in different state, people that is in different country. They can watch me like whatever platform. Yeah.
So we were doing it for a real practical reason. You can't meet, so let's bring it out to them. But what we've discovered is that it's become the front door for a lot of people, and it's become church
Yeah.
for a lot of people. We
Yeah.
have people who watch all around the world.
That's right.
Who feel connected to our church because of what we do online. We have a family in England who comes to Disney Vacation Club and they visit the church when they come here. Well, they've joined the church online,
Right.
And they're members online in England. And when they came the last time, we were able to baptize them.
That was beautiful.
And they're really a part of the church.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is interesting to see that. I was in Publix about 6 months ago, and I was at the frozen food section. And I was praying. I was deep in prayer because I was saying, Lord, is it okay for me to buy this Bluebell homemade vanilla ice cream? I wanted a word from God, right?
Well,
And God answered and said, absolutely. That's what we serve in heaven, right? So I get my Bluebell, and then I turn around, and this lady's there, and she goes, oh, Pastor Chuck, I just love Family Church. I love the musician. You have so much talent. I love that the sermons are practical. And with 5 campuses, 13 services, I know very few of the people personally who come here.
Yeah.
So I said, well, that's awesome. And I said, well, could you tell me what service or, what campus you attend? And she looked at me and she goes, oh, I've never been on campus. and here she was
this is
saying she loved the church. She lives in our community, but she's online.
Yeah.
Now, our ecclesiology is we eventually want people to gather and to come when they can, right?
Yeah, that's right.
But if she's at work on Sunday morning and has the capacity to turn on and watch the services streaming live,
Amazing.
if some people still have health issues they're worried about or whatever, or if she's just curious and wanting to find out more, we've discovered our online is reaching far beyond what we ever expected.
100%. And one of the things that we learned throughout this, for all of this past years, that we can build community online.
Yeah.
We can definitely get to know people that live in our area, or now we're trying to map those people. We're trying to say, hey, as you guys are here, I see based on data, this is something that we're going to discuss later today, we see that you guys are living pretty much in the same city or pretty much in the same area. And what about you guys come together as a small group and start something in person so they can have opportunity to start online something, watch the message, watch the content that we put online every week, be in touch with us. But also we're trying to find a way to get them, make sure they will get together somehow, and one day or one time, someone's house, I don't know, some place, coffee shop, they pick, and they will gather to be a small group, to go through a Bible study or just, a growing small group.
Absolutely. And by the way, I don't know anybody who has visited our church in the last 2 years who didn't watch us online first. they're going to watch us online before they ever walk into the service. So you're doing a great job with that. So again, this is an area where I'm kind of ignorant. You know,
You're not.
I know how to get to YouTube channel, right? And by the way, we need more people subscribing to the online YouTube channel.
That's right. Please
Right?
like and subscribe this channel. This video is super important.
So
to us.
talk about kind of the platforms you've chosen and why.
Awesome question. The platform we have chosen for our online community is pretty much YouTube, Spotify, because Spotify allows us to have video podcast but also audio podcast, and Apple Podcast. For Apple Podcast, it's pretty much just audio file. Just you can just listen to the podcast. On Spotify, you can watch or listen. In YouTube, you can watch, you can engage with us, you can comment, you can like, you can dislike, you can send any kind of comments. We'll take it. We'll take it as a positive critic, so we can improve our process.
Yeah.
We will learn from the people that is listening, that is watching us.
Yeah. Just to give you an idea, month of April, we averaged a little bit over 2,100 in-person live.
Mm-hmm.
Each Sunday, we average about 400 devices at our live services.
Yeah.
Now, we don't do a multiplier because who knows what that is.
We never know.
So we know that 400 represents a lot more people than that, right?
Yeah, with 400 people,
So-
we can fill a campus,
Yeah.
a physical campus.
Yeah. And so let's just say that averages 2 people, then you're talking 800 people, and
That's
that brings us a church of almost 3,000 in attendance on Sunday.
Correct.
But what we also have discovered is that people go to that content throughout the week,
Mm-hmm.
and that by the end of the week, those services have been viewed thousands and thousands of times.
That's right.
And so that's the weekend service, but an online community is so much more than that. So talk about what you're developing for an online community.
We're creating pretty much relevant content. This is what we're here today. We're creating discussion. We're creating opportunities so people can listen from us what we have done, what we are planning on doing, and also we're sharing testimonies. We're sharing people's stories, something that can resonate with someone. Maybe my story here can resonate with you over there that is listening or watching this podcast, and feel inspired to do something for themselves. Like I need to do something with my talent. Mm-hmm. Like I've been working with technology for 17 years. I started as a trainee at a outpost of Microsoft in my town back in Brazil. And then I fell in love with technology. I want to learn this, and I was doing design school. So as I was doing design school over here, and I was also learning how to code at work. So I put them together. And now I am a hybrid kind of tech guy. I know design, but I also know tech, coding stuff and all the data stuff. Let's put it like that. Not be too specific. Yeah. But throughout these years, I've been praying. I've been asking God, how can I serve you with my talents?
Yeah.
What can I do? Because I can sing, I can
that
play.
Really should be everybody's prayer.
I
Lord,
know.
Here's how you shaped me, made me. Here's what you've given me the ability to do. How can I use it for your glory?
Exactly.
Right.
Like we have Bruno over here. Bruno is our video producer, guys. You don't see him because he's behind the camera. But he worked for a larger television channel in Brazil, international TV channels.
Yeah.
And his prayer for all these years has been, how can I serve you, Jesus?
Absolutely.
How can I put my talent of filming things, make this available to you?
Yeah. So you are building an online community, and it's more than the weekend service and the podcast.
Yeah.
It's testimonies, it's short reels, it's other things, and you're going to be building in more interactive type experiences.
That's right.
For the online community. And all of that is helping us to get the gospel out.
That's right.
To make his name great and to try to penetrate different spaces with technology. Mm-hmm. So if a church was going to start, and let's say they didn't have the resources of a church our size and all, what would you say? How would they get started? How would you coach them?
They will start, in my belief, I think they should start with social media. Social media is free. they can start broadcasting only for YouTube. There's no cost for that. But of course, there are legal implications to keep your services on YouTube. If you don't have the budget or money to pay for those music license, you can cut the music part out. You can broadcast it live, cut the music out, and just keep the message. And the message is yours. You create the message.
Right.
God gave you the message. There is no copyright tied to your message. So my advice to you is like, get a decent camera. Like you can get a really nice camera in a $4,000 budget, and you can get a nice lens, you can get a nice camera. One single camera can do the job.
Yeah.
You don't have to go all the way. Of course, you need to find a way to get the image and audio from your camera and send to a software or send to a device that will take the signal to YouTube.
So let's just say for about $5,000, any church can get online
They can get
through
online.
Facebook and
YouTube.
archive on YouTube.
Exactly. They can do both at the same time.
Yeah.
They can respond those comments live as people are saying, hey, good morning, happy Sunday.
That's with a certain level of quality also, right?
Yes. It's a very basic level, but
Yeah.
it is quality because quality is the today content is king when
That's
it comes to
right.
internet. If you don't have a appealing content, people will skip and they will won't watch it.
And like we said, the online mix is not something you want to archive if you haven't mixed
Yeah.
it for online.
Exactly.
But if it's a live service, people will
Yeah.
they'll be fine with
Yeah.
it. And then you're not archiving that anyway if you don't have the license.
Yeah.
So all you're archiving is the sermon, and that works well.
That
with
works
the inline,
really well.
The mix you have inside. So how many people would it take for me if I'm going to start a ministry like that?
Well, in this case, and if you're starting from the basic, from the bottom, I will recommend you to have at least 3 people. Someone that can watch the camera, make sure like the camera is working. Sometimes the camera stops working.
We've discovered with technology, don't take anything for granted.
Don't take anything for granted.
Yeah.
Just make sure someone is always watching the camera, behind the camera. Make sure like they are checking. If you have more than one camera, walk by those 2 cameras once in a while, and make sure you have good quality audio. People can stand bad video quality, but not audio quality.
Right.
If you just want to do the message, do it right.
Yeah.
Make sure the pastor has a crisp, clear voice. And of course, people can understand what is being said, what is being preached, because this is
and
the
also,
message.
don't set it up at the back of the room where the pastor looks like this little speck
Oh,
up
no.
there, right?
No.
Make sure he pretty much fills up this. Doesn't fill it up, but it looks good on the screen.
Exactly.
Right?
Trying to find a good angle to place your camera
Yeah.
so the pastor won't, as you mentioned, won't look this tiny little guy right on the back of the room.
Yeah. So think through all of those things. Hey, look, Felipe, you're doing an incredible job for Family Church, and we want to be a resource for other churches too.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody has a question, how do they contact you?
If they have any question, they can just reach out to me here at Family Church. My email is fmendes with
MEND.
MENDES, not Z,
right.
S, at ourfamily.church. Send me an email. I'll be happy to answer any question they might have. I can suggest devices, suggest services that will help them broadcast, archive legally if they want to do worship, for instance, or they just want to learn how we do things here, what kind of gear we're using to film this podcast or to create content. We have all documented. We have, a bunch of ideas that we can share.
And we don't even have time to talk about all the different ways to do that. Reels. I mean, you told me that some of our reels are getting tens of thousands.
Exactly. Our reels getting about 20,000 views.
20,000
Yeah,
views,
if you,
right.
you can check this on social media.
So that is awesome. And let me just say, we want to help any church that we can. And so don't hesitate to reach out to Felipe if we can help you in any way. Mm-hmm. And by the way, go on to the online community on YouTube, and you can see the other content that you have there. You have some powerful testimonies.
We do.
And you're putting new stuff on there every week.
Every week.
And people can find it there. So look, today I want to close with somebody has to say it, but it's going to be a little bit different because normally I'm bashing things. But here's what somebody has to say. In fact, here's what I need to say.
All right.
I'm the only normal person I know.
Why?
I'm the only normal person I know.
Why do you think that?
Right?
Oh.
And the reason I say that is because what I do seems normal to me.
Mm-hmm.
and yet may be very weird to others, right?
That's right. Makes sense.
And the reason I said that is because it's so easy for us to be critical of others and to critique others when we don't really know their story.
That's right.
And so I've said this in sermons before. I'll say it all the time. I'm the only normal person I know because everybody else I know does some really weird stuff. But that's not a place to judge. It's a place to understand that we're all unique. We're all different. God's created us different and equipped us different. You're able to do things that I could never do. I can do a couple things you can't do, and we're to embrace that. So I just wanted to be an encouraging, and this one has we'll bash something next time, okay? And have some fun with it.
That's
so Felipe,
great.
if you'll talk us out.
I will. So please, I encourage you to keep listening to this podcast. We're producing them every other week. Subscribe our channel. If you know someone or some church that can use the content that we are posting over here valuable, share with them. Make sure you invite your friends as well to watch this or listen to this podcast. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. I shared my email here today. It's all available at the Family Church website. Ourfamily.church is the website, and you can get to know us a little better. So that's
Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Y'all have a great day.